to see him come through. We want to see him do well. It's what the game needs.
Could not agree more. And I think it's interesting, for me, the two best matches he's ever played. Last night and also the semi-final of the Scottish Open last December, when Selby pipped him to the title. So what do you make of the pre-match odds? Trump 1-6, LISOWSKI 4-1 against. Yes, of course, Trump is the favourite, but I thought those odds were a little bit prohibitive for Trump and a little bit generous for LISOWSKI.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing Jack will know is that he can beat Judd, and I think what Judd is aware of, aside from the machine that he's turned into, he knows that his opponent is a very fine player. I mean, you just don't want Jack to get carried away by the point he made about going for his shots. I don't think that's quite how it should be. There's a lot more to this game, and he proved it last night. To beat Mark Selby, who's in nearly the top of his form, that was a wonderful victory.
Well, he's missed 3 reds from distance. He got away with the first 2. Has he got away with this one? Is the gap there between yellow and brown? I think the answer's yes.
One. Green ball.
I also think it's important for Judd Trump to treat
4.
LISOWSKI as any other opponent. He's got a winning formula. He's a winning machine. You don't fix
5.
anything that isn't broken. Although that was not his best.
No, he just got into the cue ball too much. The stun run through, part of it was more of a stun. Now he's under there, which is not good cueing. Oh, that's wonderful. May not have looked a lot, but he cued it so crisply.
$12.
That's one shot the modern generation of players pull off so much more easily than their predecessors.
13. $20. $21.
Well, he's nicely got the reds open, but again, that angle on the black is not ideal. It was pretty well played, all things taken into account. But just black to red has got a degree of difficulty about it. Just off straight. Again, he just devoured that shot, didn't he? It was not easy cueing.
28.
Because it was on table 2-0, we didn't see it, but I wasn't commentating at the time, so I had the opportunity to see Trump Gould towards the end. And the 55 break with which he wrapped up the match featured a couple of blacks like that under really big pressure, and he made them look preposterously easy.
$29.
Well, look at where the balls are now, and he's worked very hard to put them there.
$33. 34. 36. 37.
Well, that's it. Jack is spending a lot of time watching the man he's playing. He's watching Judd walking around the table. Everyone does their own prep. Some people just stare at the cue ball to keep concentrating. I remember John Spencer in his book, he said that my best way of concentrating with my opponents at the table is just to watch the cue ball. Jack seems to have been watching Judd a lot. He's a good pal, although friendship is cancelled for a few hours.
Thank you.
We had a
43.
similar dynamic to this a few years ago in China when Joe Perry played Neil Robertson. Perry was trying to win his first ranking title. He was denied by Robertson, who at the end of the match
44.
had mixed feelings. Delighted to win. Sad for his good pal. Don't know what's inside Trump's head, Neil, but I think he's just an absolute victory animal.
Well, he is. And
49.
the point is, and we shouldn't forget this, everyone's got their own issues going on here. I mean, Judd was beaten in
50.
a pretty heartbreaking UK Championship final in the early hours here just a couple of weeks ago. So he needs to win again. You know, he'll be feeling that. He's lost a couple of finals in the last year like that. Lost to the same man in the Champion of
55.
Champions last season. Equally as difficult to accept. So he's got to try and get back to winning ways
56.
in his own mind and his own standards that he sets. Well, he started clearly very well here. Jack has missed 3 pots
63.
that he might have knocked in, 2 of them especially. Long pots. Since then, he's in the chair.
64.
Both of these two products of the West Country. And for LISOWSKI, the first frame has gone west.
69. 70.
How about that one?
75.
The man who makes so many centuries,
75.
they're starting off with 3/4 of a century. Jack LISOWSKI not giving up. It's the first frame. He wants a little bit of table time, and it's entirely understandable.
One.
Yes, it's going to be 1-0. Well, I think we know that, and the frame is essentially over.
Three. 4.
So this time he concedes just a few pots.
Okay, today.
Was all that was necessary to get that arm going.
LISOWSKI.
At least he thinks that.
9.
Judd
Big
Trump
Trump.
makes the perfect start. He leads 1-0. It is the final of the closing snooker tournament of 2020. That is the prize, the World Grand
second
Prix
frame.
trophy.
Jack LISOWSKI.
Just to reiterate, it is best of 19 frames, a race to 10. And LISOWSKI breaking off in the second, already trailing.
Well, that's the time when the red goes down the table. It seems to be about 50-50 as to whether the next player, in this case Judd, can get to the red when it drifts up. It's often obscured by one of the bolt colours. Jack's had a dart at a couple of long pots in frame 1, missed them. Here's another one he's likely to go for. Judd not pleased that the cue ball didn't bury into the bunch. That's better. Nice striking. Glided the ball into the pocket there.
Five. Six.
LISOWSKI today trying to become a member of a club that you're part of, Neil. A world ranking event winner. Trying to become the 67th player to achieve that feat. And the first new winner since Michael Holt won the shootout in February.
13. Fourteen.
He mentioned in his interview
21.
last night with us in the studio that his cue action, he's modified it slightly, which seems to help him get through the ball, and he
22.
really does get through the ball quite delightfully. The cue seems to accelerate through it, as we were hearing from everyone in the studio. It's almost like he's not hitting at the ball, he's hitting a few inches beyond the ball. As an example, and that is how to play. Easy to say, difficult to actually do.
29. $30.
Very easy on the eye snooker player, isn't he? Just the way that he plays the game. Nothing looks difficult, although we know the game's not easy.
Now the
30
snag. This is missable. Well done.
38.
Yeah, very well done, but the cue ball is absolutely welded to the side cushion. It's a little unfortunate. This will take a very good shot to recover. Well, he hit it pretty well, didn't he?
Jack LISOWSKI.
Hit
38.
it pretty well. Early, significant moment in the match, I think. I think he was a little unlucky there, you know, Jack.
Yes, in the first frame, Trump potted a couple of blacks with the cue ball uncomfortably close to the side cushion. But LISOWSKI's cue ball was welded on the side cushion.
$6. 7.
Every
40.
aspect of Trump's game is absolutely wonderful, improving all the time, and this is one of the things he does. Wins so many frames direct from his opponent's mistakes. That hurts them.
50.
Well, clearly the pink, when put back on the table, will not go on its spot. Brendan Moore just double checking that. He's going to stick it behind its spot. It doesn't actually make a great deal of difference. It doesn't tie up that other red that it's closest to.
It's good to see Brendan Moore in charge, in keeping with the prestige
21.
of this match, one of the best officials in the game. He's taking charge.
$22.
Well, that's very
Good
unexpected.
Trump. 22.
Very unexpected. Just dragged it onto the near jaw. Has the black covered the red? Is the next question. There's your answer. Jack shouldn't be disappointed. He should be just delighted that he is back to the table, albeit seeming with no pot. This is a... It's not a This is a very, very ambitious plant. As long as that cue ball goes for safety, he might be all right, but this is as difficult a plant as you'll see. He might pull it off the black as likely as get straight in. Well, at least the other part of the shot was played well.
I suppose that's the key to a good investment, speculating while taking no risk.
Point is, it's all very well, but he had no control of any of those reds there. And then you're thinking, well, I'm unlucky if I leave red over the pocket, but are you? On this occasion, he didn't.
Important frame now, Neil, because both had made mistakes. Particularly surprising was Trump's.
Somebody's going to be disappointed. There must have been a better shot than that somewhere. I suppose if he knocks it in with throwing our hands up in the air saying wonderful, but that is a very low percentage pot.
1.
So pink goes on the black spot. Judd, with his experience at this level, will recognise the early signs that you could really do with taking this frame. Applying pressure.
With unconventional bridging like that, playing at that pace, that was
40.
a pretty good shot.
$50.
Now, if he can drop on the red close to the side cushion, being left-handed is a real advantage. Cue ball not ideal here, though.
Yes, a little flick on the red has made the next shot more difficult. It's going to just slide in behind the red at first. But just that little nudge
22.
brings the next shot into some doubt, I suppose. Seen them falling off the jaw along that cushion, played slowly enough.
You're absolutely right, Neil. Down the side cushion,
22.
I think they've been quite friendly near jaw first, but when I saw he was going towards the far jaw, I knew the red was going to stay.
One. Eight.
Well, this is his third chance in the frame. I suspect it'll be his last, one way or another.